So the Steelers take Broderick Jones, first overall in their pick, number 14 overall in the draft. They moved up 3. They traded to do it. So you would think that would make him the guy at left tackle. However, Dan Moore may have something to say about that. He's 2 years now as a starter, played every game last year. Colin,
yes.
Kevin Dotson went on the record in saying he believes Dan Moore should be the starter.
Well, that's nice.
Okay. Okay. My point is it automatic that Jones gets it just because he's the number 1 pick this year for them, 14th overall?
Jeff, when's the next OTA?
Tuesday.
Broderick Jones should be the starter Tuesday, Bob. Who are we kidding here? I mean, who are we kidding?
Telling you, that's what...
I know what you're saying, but I'm saying what reality should say. You don't bring a guy in, trade up for him. He comes from a big-time program. He has the designs, or he's going to be for a decade your Orlando Pace type player, and you're fudging around at OTAs. Get him out there, run him with the big dogs, make him the starter right now, move forward.
But truthfully, he's only had 15 games as a starter in college. That's it. He had a big year. How about if he struggles early on? Just because he's the number 1 pick, 14th overall, he still gets the job?
Maybe goes in. I mean, if he really struggles, if he can't handle it at this league. But you don't trade up. You don't pick 14th overall to have a guy sit on the bench. I think this is just Tomlin, hey, let's work the first-round pick in. Let's not put too much on his plate. And the other thing to remember here, Dotson and Moore are next to each other in the locker room. They played together. They get along well together. I don't know if Kevin was going to come out and say, well, yeah, I think Dan should be benched. I mean, they have relationships in there, and I think that plays into that quote.
Yeah, I didn't think of that angle of it, Jeff, but I'm mostly with Colin. I mean, you don't draft a guy in that position to sit him. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, you want to play the guy. You want to see what he does. If it doesn't work out, you bench him.
Yeah, Jeff, they've been using Dan Moore over on the other side a little bit. Is that an indication maybe that they think either Chooks needs help or they think they're looking for ways to get Dan Moore involved if he doesn't win that job?
Well, Dan Moore has told us, as I prefaced that.
You're allowed to report this?
That he has gone over there a couple of times. But that doesn't mean necessarily that he is the swing, but I think you can put 2 and 2 together and realize listen, I think it's good to have a swing if indeed he's the swing that
he's got
has
a lot
played
of
that many games.
after 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, not many people thought he'd be 4th-round pick, immediate starter, and he did.
Well, they wanted him to have a redshirt year, but obviously Zach Banner couldn't play, and they ended up put him in earlier than they wanted to.
All right, so Colin, I'm reading a lot of NFL people around the league think the Steelers could have one of the better rosters and competitive in the AFC to the point where 2 of them picked them to win their division.
Right.
Do you see that much of the Pittsburgh Steelers that you would say right now they're the best team? Because Cincinnati, to me, is going to be the best team.
Cincinnati's the best team in the division.
Otherwise.
Very good question, Bob, and it depends on the other 2 quarterbacks as well. You know, Baltimore's quarterback and Cleveland's quarterback. I think this team goes as Najee Harris goes. I know we talk so much about Kenny Pickett and what Kenny Pickett can do, what Kenny Pickett can't do, how will his growth be from year 1 to year 2. I think it'll be very predicated on the running game and how much of a good season Najee Harris will have.
Pomp, I look at their roster, it looks incrinculant to me.
There we go.
It really does.
There we are.
It's just the word that keeps coming back to me about it.
You got Joe.
And I also see them finishing 3rd in the division. I don't know if I see that much.
Baltimore ahead of them?
Yeah, I think so.
Cleveland 4th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them
Watson to get a 4th-place finish. Things will be backfiring in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm just floored by the use of the word. Listen, I think for the first time in 3 years, the Steelers are a legitimate playoff team. I think their roster has improved that much. They're not throwing guys from the draft right into starting lineups, with the exception probably of Broderick Jones, maybe at right corner, but we'll have to see how that plays out. I just think the depth is so much better, which means when injuries happen, and they will, they're a lot better, more prepared for it than they have been.
They seem to be deeper. We'll see how much that helps them throughout the course of this season. Very interesting, the fact that this division is going to be tough. But I said that last year against the AFC West. I thought it was going to be the best division in football, and it wasn't at all.
Nobody knows.
One of the worst. So they have a lot of quarterbacks in the AFC. When we come back, we're going to talk about which team do you like beating the most? The most satisfaction. Is it the Cardinals? Is it the Ravens? New England? Who is it for these guys? We'll talk about it next right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.